Broadcasting to you live from the Orion Spiral Arm of the Milky Way Galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, somewhere outside the NFL Combine. My name's Brian Engelman. Today is Thursday, March 12, 2026. And this right here, the thing that you are watching, is called Strictly Football here on the New American Media. We'll go flag side up because hope springs eternal. On today's episode, we're going to get caught up on some of the interesting things we may have learned or started salivating over at the Combine. We're going to talk about the NFL trades and the trade that was then wasn't. What the was that all about? Baltimore Ravens. We'll get into it. And then, of course, all the free agency stuff. You got players being cut. You have free agents being signed. You got wheeling and dealing and pick swaps and all sorts of things occurring. Hope springs eternal for Izzy's Cowboys, for my Cleveland Browns. And, of course, we're all aiming at Jim and Mike's Super Bowl champion, Seattle Seahawks. So buckle up. Strictly Football Season 2, Episode 31 begins right now.
Hi, this is Eric Metcalf, and you're watching Unhappy Hour.
New American Media is proud to present a division of the Unhappy Hour sports show, Strictly Football.
It's the Unhappy Hour.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. It's time to talk football. Hit like, hit subscribe. Make sure you're following us on X. We are at TNAM Football, TNAM Football on Twitter X. We're also at the Unhappy Hour _. And of course, the main flagship station is at American_Media_. Let's welcome in Mr. Mike Bara. How you doing, sir?
Good. I'm sorry I'm late. I made everybody late. We should have been on a half an hour ago, but we're here. So.
Hey, I wasn't going to air any laundry. That's all
right, well, you know, I just wanted to be fair to my co-hosts here that tell the truth, you know. It's
all right. Well, wait, Tell the Truth Wednesdays. Or what was that? Tell the Truth Tuesdays. What is it?
Tell the Truth Wednesday.
Wednesday.
And then I had just all toxically masculine Tuesday, Tell the Truth Wednesday.
There we go. Okay. Well, yes, thanks for being here regardless. And once again, congratulations on your Seattle Seahawks victory. It's been interesting. We've had a couple of weeks off to just kind of...
The glow lasted almost a month before they let Ken Walker go for no fucking reason at all.
Okay. I have thoughts. We'll get into that. Let's welcome in the other Seattle Seahawks fan, Jim Mitchell in Jigba. Oh, we just went with Jay.
Oh, that's right. I think it's time to retire the Njigba portion of my name thing.
Well, he's still with the team.
Yeah, I know, and he's going to be here for a long time.
For now, it seems.
Instead of JMN is that's.
I'm JBN.
Jamming.
JBN, yeah.
You're jamming. That kind of works.
Or MBN. Sorry, MBN. Yeah.
MBN.
And Ez'Ryel Pickens. Welcome, sir. How are you today?
What's up?
Yo.
All right.
In the new digs up there.
Still have that civilian haircut. So apparently you haven't been.
Are you AWOL there, Mr. Robinson?
Give him as much as an update as you want to, is he?
Oh, what do you mean by that?
AWOL?
Absent without leave.
No. I haven't left yet. Still got another month and a half.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, they've sort of been going back and forth with different opportunities and some almosts. But
yeah, enjoy that goatee while you can.
Go to Space Force, man.
If you went to Space Force, you might be able to keep that goat.
Trust the alien guy. That's where the action's going to be.
Anyway. All right. Well, fellas, it's football time. Time to talk about it. I don't know anybody who followed the Combine as much as Izzy did. Let me ask you guys real quick, Jim, Mike, how strongly did you follow the Combine activities?
Well, for me, not at all, because all the Seahawks needed to do, in my mind, was retain most of the free agents they had, or a few of them, one key one especially, but they didn't. But and so the draft doesn't matter to me at all this year. I mean, now I have to pay attention to it because we've created gaping holes at a couple positions that I guess we can only address in the draft. But my general impression, what everybody was saying, was that this is a really, really poor draft class, like historically poor, like maybe the worst since 2013, which is one of the worst drafts ever in NFL history. So I got to ask Izzy about that and just sort of defer to your. I don't know if that's true. Is it really true?
Yeah,
it's a bad draft.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot as well. So some players stood out, but they were saying like as far as skill positions, quarterbacks, it's more of like a linebacker, defensive back kind of draft, and it's a huge depth in that category. As much as the whole entire thing, yeah, a lot of people they said it's not that high this year, and most likely next year it'll be way better.
Yeah,
off year, whatever you want to call it, but who knows? The players could ball out, but.
Yeah, and
That's
the
just
NIL has definitely changed things as well. I keep hearing rumors that I saw a rumor President Trump was getting ready to change the NIL situation. I thought it was more of a done deal than it turned out to be. So I don't know how that's going to play out.
The thing is, I don't think that's something government should be involved in, really. It's like, I mean, basically, look, it's pretty obvious what's going on there, it seems like. It seems like, okay, if we'll give you campaign contributions out of our endowments, will you please stop this? And I mean, the whole thing was set up with shitty rules in the first place. That I think the players should, probably have a few restrictions on them, but I don't know, Jim, do you like it? I think it's kind of cool because now any team can come along like Indiana and put out the best college team money can buy and win a national championship. What's wrong with Indiana? Would never ever have contended for a national championship under the old system. So what's wrong with that?
Yeah, we mentioned that. We mentioned that a couple of shows ago, where I quoted Ed Orgeron, who was the head coach of LSU. He said the only difference that's going on now is right now they're paying the players through the front door, where in the past we used to pay them through the back door.
Yeah.
He said that's the only and of course now there's no sanctions against teams for players getting paid because and I think the game is a lot better now. I mean, it makes the NCAA more a minor league team for the National Football League.
Yeah,
and it's I think it's a better product, and that's one reason why you're going to see the playoff picture expand. I mean, what are they at right now? 8, 12 teams?
Yeah, it's 12 teams. It's 12 teams.
Well, it wasn't too many years ago where it was only 4. But
yeah.
It's the product is a lot better, and I think it's a lot better for the National Football League because you're getting players coming out of the draft.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Feels good.
You're getting more players out of the draft now that are older and allegedly I'll say allegedly more mature, and players that are playing in college football right now. There's a certain tier of players that realize that they can make more money right now as an alleged amateur than they can going pro, and that's why they're going to stay in college.
That's the thing. That's the thing. And what's wrong with that? There's guys that are great college players that are not going to be great professional players. So what's wrong with the free market making a few? I mean, these universities are making tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars off these guys. Why not let the players get some of that scrap? I mean, they're the ones creating it, right?
Yeah, I completely agree. Wait, Jim, you were gonna go, or? All right. Yeah, I completely agree. The players, they do deserve to be paid to a certain extent. It just depends on the amount. Some of these players, I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of money. But at the same time, there was this quarterback this year for Ole Miss. he played pretty good in the playoffs. He almost took him to the national championship, and he's not eligible for another year. And he's like, why would I go to the draft knowing that I'm not going to be a high pick, and I'll get paid more money playing in college, and even if the NFL doesn't work out. So he's trying to make his money now, and for the speculation that he just started popping off in his last year of eligibility. So maybe the next year he makes it, maybe the next year he doesn't, but at least he has enough money to be stable for a while. So yeah, I completely agree with the players getting paid. Even before, I mean, when it was under the table or when there was no NIL, when the players weren't getting paid, the schools, they have the money from it and they don't even spend it on other things besides sports. And now they're paying the players. It's like, at least that's a plus to it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think so too. So it'll be interesting to follow. I saw the news last week that they might get involved and change it. We'll see. We shall see. We know that the colleges have been providing an air quote education and giving the kids opportunities, but man, they've been raking in money hand over fist, and they've essentially been professional athletes this whole time. So I'm fine with them making some money, but yeah, now that free agency is in college, it's really weird. There's no signing up for a 4-year commitment, signing up for a 4-year term in the military, signing up and seeing it through. It's just every year you're a free agent. I don't know that that's a particularly good thing for college football. So,
well, that's right, Brian. I mean, you can say there's more honesty in the deal making now, and there's more honesty between the college football and the professional football. But the thing is it's all above board. And they're not. The administrators in the colleges that have the better football teams aren't more apt to try to sweep everything under the rug and try to hide things. And if you're not compelled to hide things and things are more above board, you get a better look at the aptitude of the players. And that's what I like about it.
Yeah. Well, we had a chance to evaluate the players during the combine. Izzy, I didn't follow it nearly as much, but being around you the past couple of weeks has been, it's almost like I followed
perennial
it.
top 5 pick, so you should have been right there, Brian. Why weren't you watching?
Exactly.
Hey, top six. We're not top 5. Come on now. We're not.
Oh,
we got a top
6 this year. Ooh, moving up in the world.
Yep.
All right, I got a graphic to show you. Well, we'll tell you because I think.
By the way, I just got a notification on my phone. The Cleveland Browns have announced that they have decided to pull out of the Deshaun Watson trade, as the Seattle Seahawks would also like to pull out of the Jamal Adams trade.
Yeah, that was great. We sent that in the group chat.
Yeah, that was great.
Well, we'll get to the Ravens and Max Crosby because that is some crazy shit. We'll get to that. I thought you were going to say. Breaking news, I just found out that the Cleveland Browns have been eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah. No, did you guys see that Geno Smith got traded the day before, the first day or the day before, and somebody posted a picture of Geno in a Jets uniform with the words, eliminated, the eliminated for the playoffs thing.
I think that was an old David Letterman joke. He'd always make it about the Mets or somebody. Sometimes the Indians.
Yeah, the Jets are automatically eliminated from playoff contention.
Well, who's the furthest odds right now at the sports book, Mike?
That's gotta be the Jets, don't you think? It's gotta be.
They're the third worst, the Jets.
Yeah.
The absolute worst right now are the Cardinals because they're going to move off of Murray.
Yeah, they did cut him, didn't they?
Yep.
Didn't they cut him? Yeah.
I saw this morning where they were due to cut him, and I don't think they've done it yet. But they are plus 40,000 to win the Super Bowl. And right now, second to last, Ryan, I'm sorry, plus 35,000 to win the Super Bowl.
So wait, that means if I place a bet, how much? So if I place $1 bet,
I think it's 100 to win 35 grand.
$100 to win 35 grand.
Yeah, isn't that how it works, Mike?
Yeah.
'Cause you made that you were going to make that futures bet on the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's all based on $100. If you spend 100, you get 35 grand if the Browns win the Super Bowl. So, and again, I did that every year with the Seahawks, except this year.
No.
I only bet, NFC West and over under on 7.5 wins because I knew they were going to be better than that. But I cost myself.
It was 100 to win 6,000 this.
Yeah, or actually. I think it was something like 18 grand.
And ironically enough, the Seahawks and the Patriots had the same odds.
Oh shit.
Well, let me bounce around. I had this graphic pulled up, and since you brought up the Jets and the Browns, let me full screen this here for you. This is after the offseason roster moves and the draft value through March 11th. So that was as of yesterday. Out right here at the top, the Browns have done the most to improve their team. Obviously, when you're when you're in the bottom 6, you've got nowhere to go but up. But the Browns and Jets have done more to improve their rosters, along with the Titans and the Rams, shockingly. And then at the bottom there, who's done the least, that would be the Colts and your Seahawks, Chargers, Jaguars, and Chiefs. So for what it's worth, it's not necessarily the betting odds, but it's statistics, it's data. Izzy, statistics and data, that is the cornerstone of the combine, and you followed it closely. Why don't you
not that close? I think you're going a little bit ahead, but I followed a little bit enough to know some of the players' names.
Well, tell us a little bit about what stood out to you during the combine.
It was very interesting. If I'm right, this is the second fastest combine of all time, or the first, as in a 40-yard dash ranking. So the players seem to get faster and faster every year. And as far as that, a lot of people, they overperformed, and usually how it is. And they boosted their draft stock. And a lot of players, they didn't show up or do the combine at all. So, I mean, there's a lot of interesting guys here. So I can't pull anything up. But as far as draft position, the Raiders are number one. Most likely Fernando Mendoza is going to go there. Then you have the Jets, Cardinals, Titans, Giants, Browns, Commanders, Saints, Chiefs, and Bengals in the top 10. So it's a lot of, just in general, there's a lot of interesting guys. I don't know if you want me to go through, I got a list put up from ESPN of the top 10 or top 25 ranked players after the combine.
But here's what I'd like to ask you. Since the Seahawks now have a gaping need at running back, what do you think about the running backs? I know everybody thinks Price is spectacular, but where do you think they're going to go, and who are the next 2 or 3 guys behind him, based on what you think at this point?
So Jeremiah Love is the number 1 right now at the moment.
Yeah, Love. Price,
the speculation for Jeremiah Love was that the Chiefs were going to grab him. The Chiefs were high on him, and that's out of the window now because the Chiefs, they went out and grabbed Kenneth Walker, your guy, unfortunately.
Yeah, my guy,
and funny thing as well, did you see what he said today about the Chiefs? He said, I wanted to join a winning culture.
Yeah.
After he just won the Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, it seems like he felt disrespected by the Seahawks organization, and I don't blame him for that. You had that weird moment after the Super Bowl where Schneider goes, "Oh, he's already started negotiating with me," when they're at the parade, and I'm like, okay, why'd you say that? It just seemed like an uncomfortable relationship because I just don't think the Seahawks respect running backs enough. Certainly not this one, who was spectacular. And look, they don't win a Super Bowl without him. It's that simple. They don't beat the Rams without him.
Everybody knew that Walker is a great runner. I was going to say was. No, he is a great runner. But their criticism of him was always that his hands were questionable as far as catching a pass out in the flat, or and his blocking ability was also questionable.
But
they were calling him a one-trick pony, but what he does exceptionally, he does exceptionally well.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
he's not a jack of all trades. He's a master of one.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like, well, he's a running back, but he's really limited. He can only break off 60-yard runs, explosive runs for 60 yards. Yeah, and the reason, I guess that's why they thought that they called him a running back, was because he runs the ball, and, but his pass blocking. It's like, geez, seriously? That's what matters to you over a guy's ability to run when he's a running back? I don't get it. So. Anyway, we got off tangent again there. But who are the other couple guys you like?
So the other couple guys, one guy stood out. His name is Mike Washington Jr. From Arkansas. He ran a 4.33 40-yard dash, a 1.51 10-yard split, and he sat behind another running back from Kentucky last year, and this year he finally got his start. So he only ran for 1,000 yards and 6.4 yards per carry, but he's 6'1", 223. That's one of the top guys that boosted up in the draft from the running back position. But besides that, it goes Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price from Notre Dame are the top 2 running backs in the draft on the board. Mike Washington Jr., the man I've just stated, Nicholas Singleton from Penn State, Roman Hemby from Indiana, Katron Allen from Penn State, Jonah Coleman. That's another one to look out. He's a really physical kind of guy, if you want to put it that way. Speed, broad jump, vertical. He hit all the things. He's 5'8", 220, so a bowling ball. Adam Randall from Clemson, Damon Claiborne from Wake Forest, and Le'Veon Moss from Texas A&M. So mainly Jeremiah Love is the first running back taken off the board. It depends on who wants him. Of course, like I said, the Chiefs are out of the mix. I did hear some talks about the Cardinals possibly grabbing him at 3 or trading back to grab him because they want another running back.
Yeah, but they did sign a running back. I forget who it was, but
I forgot they did just sign somebody.
Yeah,
at the end.
So,
Yeah,
I forget who it was, honestly, but yeah.
Yeah, and then there's also talks of the Saints and the Giants possibly wanting to grab a running back. So he's the first off the board. The next time you'll see a running back is maybe late round, around 25 to 32. And that's where that guy from Arkansas, Mike Washington Jr. could go. And then besides that, the running backs are going to be taken in the second round. It's nothing too crazy like the other years where it's like, 3 running backs going in the first, or you know how it usually is. But second, third round is mainly where teams are going to grab their guys.
Yeah.
But Jeremiah Love, I mean, the draft, he blew it out. Let me see if I can find some of his.
While you take a look, they have Jadarian Price at number 2.
Yeah.
Both Notre Dame backs, Jonah Coleman, Washington, Mike Washington Jr., Arkansas, Emmett Johnson, Nebraska, Nicholas Singleton, Penn State, Justice Haynes, Michigan. They're kind of saying after the first back or two, there's really not someone that's going to stand out per se. But you never know. That's the beauty of this time of year. If you can draft Tom Brady in the, what round did they get him? 7th?
6th.
Sixth
199 is 6th round. Yeah.
I mean, Drew Aller, he's not going to be a top 5 pick, but he has the physical tools. He hasn't impressed me yet, but you never know. He might turn out to be the best quarterback in the draft. Who would have thought Sam Darnold would be the first quarterback out of that draft to win a Super Bowl?
Yeah,
I didn't have that on my bingo card at all.
It was Tyler Algier that went to the Cardinals. So
Algier, okay.
That's
a better running back room for Bijan. A lot of his carries got taken. So
yeah, and the thing is about that for the Cardinals is it to me it makes it unlikely they're going to spend a first round pick on a running back. So.
Yeah. It seems after the players and trades and free agency that a lot of the teams that wanted to grab one, they've got a guy, and I'm guessing they're saying they're going to wait and hopefully draft another position. So,
but I guess the Seahawks went with their running back Kenneth Walker III out of necessity, Jim. But you're all about trends and. People say Emmitt Smith's rushing record is something that'll never be broken again because they don't build offensive lines like that and they don't feed somebody the rock that many times a game anymore. Do you think the trend might be going back to a one back? Because it seems like we've been stuck in this. I play a lot of fantasy football. In this whole vulturing touchdowns but to the second and third string running back, man, it's brutal for me. Trying to figure out what it is. But do you think the league is going to stay with 2 running backs or running back by committee? Or do you think maybe
it's like the criticism they had with Walker? You know, he wasn't exactly an A+ player as far as a blocking back, but I was always a fan of the I formation, you know, in the backfield, you know, going with the 2 running back situation, you know, and you know, speaking of that, you know, we lost Emerson Boozer from the Jets 2 days ago. He just passed away.
Oh, he did?
He was 82 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Super Bowl III with Namath.
Yeah, Matt Snell and Emerson.
Snell and Emerson Boozer.
Yeah, that was the first football game I ever watched.
And that was one of the greatest dual running back situations that there was. I mean, when they upset the Baltimore Colts.
Yeah, that would be like.
I mean, he was a great player. Emerson.
He would be like Earl Campbell, or even who's the Steelers guy, Jerome Bettis. If they passed, he's that kind of player. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, is he any other loose ends from the combine that you want to talk about? You said it was the fastest ever. Some Ohio State players balled out. No surprise there.
Yeah, about that. I was just going to state Ohio State. They have 3 guys looking to go in the top 10 or 7. So that's pretty huge, and they're all on defense. You got a safety, Caleb Downs. He didn't participate in any of the workouts, but I mean, he's proven himself on the field. The big question now, though, is they did take a test on his knee, and it came back a possible partial ACL tear and meniscus tear. So that might drop his stock depending on how teams view him. Especially he's a safety. Teams don't view safeties that high, but he's so good that he's most likely to go top 10. You have Arvell Reese, who's the consensus like 1-1 on the draft board besides Mendoza. If teams didn't need quarterbacks, he's on there. Linebacker from Ohio State. And Sony Styles is a linebacker from Ohio State. He was looking to go 15 to 20 before the combine. And right after, he broke every linebacker record at the combine: 40 time, broad jump, vertical, 10-yard split, shuttle. Every record you could think, he broke it for the linebackers. He's 6'5", 244, by the way. So that is one guy to look out for. And as far as other players, there's an offensive guard from Penn State. I really can't say his name. I'll butcher it. He's, I'm guessing, Hawaiian or some kind of Polynesian descent. Fernando Mendoza at 6. David Bailey, edge from Texas Tech. Monroe Freeling from Georgia. Francis Magoya, offensive tackle. And Kenyon Sadiq, that's another one. It's a 6'3", 241-pound tight end from Oregon. He broke the tight end 40 time. I think he ran a 4.33. And he broke the broad jump for tight ends and then the vertical jump. But right after that, there's another tight end from, I think, Vanderbilt named Eli Stowers, who broke the broad jump and the vertical record right after. So it's a lot of athletic freaks. You can say that. But as far as skill on the field, not so good on the other end. That's about it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we've learned how to train at maximum capacity. We've learned how to get the largest broad jump and the fastest 40 times, and that's great. But yeah, I mean, end of the day, do you have a nose for the ball if you're on defense? Do you know how to get coached? Do you understand the schemes? Do you know where to be? Are you coachable? Do you understand the game of football? There's a lot of questions that you can't really measure at the combine. But
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I'm surprised they don't have a pole vaulting event at the combine.
Yeah. Maybe they should, actually. Maybe they should.
Yeah, we can use that in football, you know.
Well,
the triple jump. You know.
Maybe you could use a triple jump on the sidelines, trying to pat a ball in keep it alive for an interception or something. But man, there has been so many moves made. I don't know. Do we want to how do we want to approach this? Do we want to try to go through team by team? Do we like there's
That's too long, but
Yeah.
go with the highlights. Talk about our main teams here: the Browns, the Cowboys.
Top players, yeah.
Talked a lot about the Seahawks already, but yeah.
I got an interesting stat to throw out. We can start talking about this. Geno Smith essentially helped the Raiders, obtain Fernando Mendoza. Now he's going to the Jets, and he's going to help the Jets obtain Arch Manning. So
Possibly.
Hopefully, Geno's going back to the Jets, and hopefully somebody won't punch him in the nose and break his nose again, like his first year when he was with the Jets.
He's a real team player, that guy. He's a real team player. Yeah,
That's
I don't know.
Favorite players is Geno.
Yeah, I don't know if Arch is going to be what people are hoping he's going to be, but they often say that the Cleveland Browns are playing for 2027, and of course Jimmy Haslam's connection to Tennessee and the Manning family might make it seem that way. But if we want to talk about the Browns, we've basically rebuilt our entire line. Jenkins, center. Quincy, that's Tevin. We got two Jenkins. We got double Jenkins, and I'm okay with that. Zion Johnson, left guard. Titus Howard, right tackle. We made a trade to get the right tackle from the Texans. I'm always leery to trade with the Texans, although it was the Brock Osweiler trade that got us Nick Chubb back in the day, if you recall. But, yeah, I mean, our offensive line aged out all at the same time. Like, the entire offensive line are gone. They're all free agents. They've all been cut or traded or –
So, Brian, is this the formula to keep Shador's jersey clean?
Well, look, I don't know how great it's going to be. Izzy, you had thoughts on Zion Johnson, for example. You had strong feelings about him.
Yeah, I mean, I preached it all year that, and on paper, the Chargers have one of the worst O-lines or the worst O-line in the NFL, and Zion Johnson was a contributor to that horrible O-line. And I mentioned to Brian that Zion Johnson just got picked up by the Browns. And he's an athletic freak. I mean, he was a first-round pick 3 or 4 years ago from the Chargers. He just hasn't succumbed to anything good. And a bit of a conversation we had was that how much of it was the coaching staff and how much of it was what he learned. And I mentioned that they have two players, Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater, who are all pros, tackles who are injured. And I'm like, it really can't be the coaching room. I mean, you got two all pros on the O-line. Of course, they're injured, but maybe that'll bleed over to Zion Johnson and he'll become a better player. But that doesn't seem to be the case. The Browns pick him up, and it's a bit of an overpay, $50 million for 3 years for this guy. And I mean, hopefully the Browns could turn him around, but I highly doubt it. So.
Yeah, it's sort of going rate, $15 million for a decent offensive lineman, and he's got the physical traits. He hasn't been able to fully put it together and dominate by any stretch. But I mean, we're bringing in the Ravens brain trust minus John Harbaugh. So I mean, it's going. It's not like they made Derrick Henry look good, but they know how to run the ball over there. And since we lost our offensive line guru, Bill Callahan, everything took a massive step back. People got older, people got injured as well. But is this the brain trust that's going to keep Shador standing up straight? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. They've also worked out Ty Simpson. I don't know if that's something.
Oh, yeah.
Izzy's team has been mentioned as maybe someone we could trade back with so we could drop a few spots, collect some additional draft capital either next year or this year, and then maybe pick up a Ty Simpson in the middle of the first round.
Yeah, if you guys were to
acquire some additional assets. Izzy, go ahead.
Yeah, if you guys were to trade back with us, we don't have any draft capital this year. Maybe next year, but maybe look for another team. But yeah, I heard there were rumors that Ty Simpson, quarterback from Alabama, could go to the Browns, and he's trending up on a lot of people's boards. And me personally, I don't see it. And if any team were to grab him, I mean, yeah, probably the Browns because they're the Browns. So.
They are. And I don't know that anyone's sold on Shador. I think everyone's given up on Dylan Gabriel. And there's like this little contingent that says, hey, maybe that Deshaun Watson guy, he's 2 years, like he's removed from this shoulder injury. Yeah, he did the Achilles thing, but he's had time to heal. maybe give him another crack at it. Maybe the team that coached Lamar a couple of years can bring Deshaun Watson back to a guy that was kicking ass for the Texans, and he's been nothing but a bum in Cleveland. I'm not holding my breath. I don't think anyone is. But I also don't know if we're ready to invest too much draft capital at quarterback, knowing that we have so many other holes to fill. I don't know. Mike, if you're GM of the Browns, how are you approaching it, seeing that we picked up those guys? Essentially, we lost Devin Bush. That was one of our difficult losses because he came back, resurrected his career, and then signed a pretty nice deal and left, which is unfortunate. I really wanted to see him stay. But picking up the guy off the Jets, the Williams, they're saying it's kind of a mix and match. But if you're the GM of the Browns, knowing that we made those moves, 2 first-round draft picks this year, what would you do?
Well,
what's most important?
You're sitting. You said it's 6.
And 24 from the trade back last year.
Okay. I've seen people say there's only 6 first-round rated guys in this draft.
Oh.
So to my mind, if it's even remotely close to true, even if there's 15 or 16, the reason the Browns suck is because you don't have enough good football players. So you just take the best football player that's left on your board at 6, and I would probably say the same thing at 24. Just focus on getting guys that you know are good football players, and hope that your new coaching staff can coach them up and do the right thing and get them going, and not mess around with a lot of trades and stuff. Now, if somebody wants your picks and is willing to give you picks in next year's draft, a whole bunch of them, we'll give you a third back this year and our first next year or something, then I would say do it, because next year's draft appears to be much stronger than this year's. But I wouldn't fool around. You got 2 first-round picks. Go out and find the 2 best guys, regardless of the position. It's not like you have an overload at any position where you can say, except for Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
There's nobody on your team that I would really say, we don't, we don't need anybody there. So just take the best players that are on the board, and don't worry about needs or positions or all that. Just get more good football players.
Jim, does that make sense to you? Do you have any players that have caught your eye, or any specific thoughts on the Cleveland situation? I don't know how closely you follow it. I've looked at maybe Carnell Tate, if he's there at 6, just to get a guy that is very polished, very, you don't play several years in the Buckeye system being a schlub. It would be nice to get an actual wide receiver 1 that can just, if not be spectacular, be consistently good. We haven't had a really good, solid wide receiver since Josh Gordon, but he was never reliable. The best ability is availability, Jim.
Yeah, I really don't see any fault in who the Browns have picked up. I just think that they need to put their quarterback position under a better microscope. I don't think that they spend enough time researching who they want to bring in as quarterback. If you look at the history of the Browns, the quarterbacks that they brought in, who was their last really good quarterback, Brian? Was it Brian Sipe?
Brian Sipe, yeah. I knew you were
Well, Bernie Kosar.
Was it
AFC
was it
championship.
Bernie Kosar?
He was very good. Testaverde had moments with the Bill Belichick Browns. They were predicted to go to the Super Bowl, and then they announced the team's leaving, and then we tanked. We lost every in the rest of the year.
He played till he was 42 years old, didn't he?
He played late. In the new version of the Browns, it's been tough. Couch had moments. Kelly Holcomb had moments. Derek Anderson had moments. Joe Flacco had moments. We've had moments. We've had seasons or half seasons.
I don't really remember Couch having moments.
Probably Baker Mayfield has been the best thing we had, and he got injured. The team gave up on him.
Didn't Tim Couch win the Heisman?
Tim Couch won the Heisman, but he was a shit.
He didn't win the Heisman, I don't think. But he was the number 1 overall pick. He was the number 1 overall pick.
But look, Brian, you guys, you brought in some new offensive linemen, and somebody like Jeremiah Love, if he's sitting there at number 6, it wouldn't be a bad pick for you guys at all, because he's going to get a lot of yards behind a revamped offensive line. But you just got to take the best player that is sitting in front of you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would. theoretically, the three biggest positions of need. Separate the quarterback. Our two biggest positions of need. We need a wide receiver one, and we need an anchor offensive lineman. We need that left tackle. And there's some studs in the draft class. There's some really nice players that you can develop. And we've been ignoring those two positions or swinging and missing with third round picks that aren't panning out. So time will tell. I think the Browns have been rumored to be targeting what's his name? Brian down in Jacksonville Jr.
Brian Thomas Jr.
Thank you. I was thinking Robinson. I was thinking the wrong name. Yeah, Brian Thomas Jr. It's Brian just a rumor I can't get rid of.
Yeah, Brian Thomas. I mean, it's weird that he's on the market if he is, because apparently, it's got to be some sort of attitude problem. It's like Tariq Woolen has incredible talent, but he's a knucklehead. And I don't know if you saw, but Russ Tucker did a thing yesterday where he said, I was the he talks really funny. I was the sideline reporter against the Rams, and he made a play, and it was a great play. And then he starts John with the Rams, and the ref says, knock it off. And he keeps doing it, and he keeps doing it. And, he's a knucklehead. So maybe
that was the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
And then he loses
almost cost
focus.
him the game.
Yards.
A touchdown that they could have lost the game. And the same thing happened in the Super Bowl. He gets into it. There's a streaker. He starts getting into it with the Patriots. He gets a penalty, and then he gives up a touchdown. 2 plays later, he gives up 2 completions because he loses focus. So he's a knucklehead. Maybe Brian Thomas Jr. is a knucklehead, and it seems like maybe Philly would be a good place.
Yeah, McDonald just should have shut him down and pulled a Belichick, like Belichick did to Butler. They ended up losing the game, and Woolen's a knucklehead. I mean, good riddance. He's with the Eagles now.
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna miss that talent.
I wish the Cowboys got him. I mean, he has a lot of talent, but we need corners. So even if he is, we need that.
Well, tell us about
the Cowboys are no strangers to knuckleheads either, so it's not like
tell me about it.
Yeah.
There was talks about. Well, we'll get into it, but as far as the Cowboys off season so far, Jerry Jones has been making significant moves with restructuring contracts. We went from bottom of cap space to positive cap space somehow. I don't know how, but.
Yeah, the Cowboys traded their defensive tackle today to the 49ers.
Yep, we traded our standout 2 years ago. Our standout tackle.
Osa Odigizua.
Yep, there you go. Osa Odigizua.
Yeah, can I buy a vowel, Alex? Yeah.
Odigizua, what?
Odigizua.
Ocean David, Ida George, Henry, Ida Zebra, Union, William Adam. Odigizua.
I don't see him here. Okay.
Osa first name.
Osa. Yeah. We'll just call him Osa.
Maybe they've already got him off of the cap thing on over the cap. I don't know. I don't see him there. So yeah.
What other moves, Izzy, did you want to highlight with the Cowboys?
All right, there we go. My thing cut out for a second. Yeah, we created a lot of cap space. But for the Cowboys, we traded Osa Odigizua 2 years ago. I think he made an All-Pro, a second team All-Pro, Pro Bowl, something like that. And this year it was less, of course, output because the team sucked. And but we also traded Michael Parsons for 2 firsts and Kenny Clark, and then we trade for a top 3 defensive tackle and Quentin Williams. So there's really no movement. Those are 2 guys who are clearly better and proven than Osa. So we trade him for a 3rd round pick. A lot of people speculated he's worth a 2nd round pick because we're paying him $20 million a year, which is a lot for the position. And we have no draft capital this year. We have 2 first round picks, and then our next pick is the 5th round. So we get a 3rd round pick out of it. I don't mind it. And supposedly we're switching up our defensive scheme from a 4 down front to a 3 down front. So we're gonna figure some stuff out on defense, of course. And then as far as that, Jalen Thompson, he was a captain for the Cardinals, safety. We signed him to a 5-year, $50 million deal, and or no, 3-year, $33 million deal. And he helps out at the safety position. I mean, anyone on defense. This is really where we're doing our dipping. Sam Williams, we re-signed him to a 1-year, $3 million deal. He's a defensive end. He's okay, nothing special. I mean, we got him in the 3rd round. We get a dude named Otito Ogboninia.
No offense.
Yeah, no offense from butchering your name, but a 1-year, $3 million deal. Just a lot of small pickups. So we get another safety, PJ Locke from the Broncos. Safety, it's a 1-year contract. I'm not sure about the money wise, but supposedly he's pretty good. A lot of Broncos fans talk highly about him. They said he's a rotational guy, but sometimes during the season he started and he played good on one of the best defenses in the league. So we get another safety help. Then we pick up Sam Howell, quarterback, former passing yard leader in the NFL 2 years ago from the Washington Commanders. So then we traded I believe a 4th round pick for what is that guy's name? Rashawn Gary, captain defensive end from the Packers, former 1st round pick. And I'm like, wow, okay. I mean, it helps the D line out. And yeah, I mean, nothing too crazy. We're just picking up small pieces with the possibility of them playing good and fitting into our new defense, especially with the new coordinator from the Eagles. But as far as that, there was speculation after the Max Crosby thing fell out. Even before that, the Cowboys were going to go and trade for him. And then even after, they were like, if the big question was he didn't pass his physical, they were like, Jerry Jones is like the only GM in the league who would consider that. And with the 2 moves he made on the D-line yesterday, it seemed like it was going to happen. But as far as I've heard, that Max Crosby is going to stay on the Raiders, and they're not looking to trade him anymore. So,
all right. Well, maybe let's bounce to that as a question. That's maybe one of the biggest news. We'll start with Mike there. Max Crosby, traded, not traded. Of course, it brought up all those hilarious memes. The Browns are backing out of the Deshaun Watson.
Seahawks are backing out of the Jamal Adams.
It's so good. So good. So funny. I love meme culture. It's like the best thing that's happened to the internet. But what do we make of that? That's like, was that a breach of protocol on the part of the Baltimore Ravens? Was that a personality thing? Was it an injury thing? Was it a deception thing? Was it it's not you, it's me. It's you're trying to be committed, but someone better comes around and you find
there's a lot to it.
We all know what really happened, right? They traded for him, right? And thinking that Hendrickson was going to be a lot more expensive, they kicked the tires on Hendrickson, found out they could get him a lot cheaper, and so they came up with an excuse to back out of the trade, which is failing a physical. You can fail a player on a physical for any reason, at any time. Anytime you can bring him in and fail him on his physical. It's purely up to the team. It's completely, there's no standards for what a pass physical is. So they just decided, we think Trey Hendrickson at half the money, without giving up any draft picks, is going to be just as good as Max Crosby at full price would be. So, I mean, it's pretty clear what happened. Is it ethical? No. Is it legal? Yeah, you can do that. All you have to do is say he failed his physical. They did that. It's shady, but teams are going to have a hard time trusting the Ravens now. But this is also why this tampering period. I mean, there have been times when deals have been agreed to in the tampering period, and then by the time we get to the new league year, the player or the team is backed out of it. There's been cases where guys have been franchise tagged. And when you're franchise tagged, supposedly your money's guaranteed. Who was it? Le'Veon Bell, I think it was with the Jets. They franchise tagged him, and then he refused to sign. Until you sign the tag, your money is not guaranteed. He didn't sign it. He didn't sign it. He didn't sign it. He fought with the team, and then the team pulled the tag right before the rules, the July window, and he lost that $14 million, and he never got it back. So these are the way the rules work. You got to know what you're doing, when you make a deal. And did the Raiders get screwed? Yeah, a little bit, but it wasn't. Again, it's ethics. It's not. It's like
And how screwed are you when at the
Dak
end of the day
Prescott.
you get Max Crosby?
It's like Dak Prescott, dumping the mother of his 2 children right before they got married. Is it ethical? No, but it's probably the smart play, Dak.
Exactly.
So, I mean, she just can't. You can't convince me. She comes off the bachelor party weekend, and he cancels the wedding. You cannot convince me there wasn't something there on that issue. So it's the same thing. Dak and his fiance, and Max and the Ravens and the Raiders, same thing to my mind.
Well, the interesting thing about that deal with Crosby, Tyler Linderbaum was supposed to be part of that transaction, was he not?
No, he was not.
No.
He was a free agent. Yeah, he was separate. Yeah.
So he was separate. He had nothing to do with the Crosby trade.
Nope.
Yeah, because as of this morning, Linderbaum is still signing with the Raiders.
Yep.
Yeah.
As their center.
Highest paid center all time.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah. So they can absorb it. Their cap is. They saw
Astronomical. They went out and signed like most of the top guys in the free agents market.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the other interesting thing was it was reported yesterday that Crosby was still on crutches as of 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean, they knew it.
Yeah, sure they did. Anybody that did their research on him should have known that.
As of the moment, Raiders still have $40 million in cap space, but they could restructure Crosby and save another $21 million. So they got options.
Is that since the recent signings? Because they signed Jalen Naylor, wide receiver. They signed Nakobe Dean, linebacker, and also I think yesterday they signed Quay Walker.
Linderbaum is in there.
Yeah,
Linderbaum's in there. Nakobe Dean is in there. Who was the other name?
Quay Walker, linebacker. So they've signed a lot of people already.
Yeah, they did. They spent a lot of money.
Let me, I can I do a screen share here? Yeah, I can. Let me do a screen share.
You can.
Show you. We can go through it if Brian brings it up.
Yes, sir. There it is.
So yeah, Crosby, Colton Miller, Tyler Linderbaum's in there. Malcolm Kuntz, Kwity Paye, Nakobe Dean is there. I didn't know the other 2 guys. What was the wide receiver's name again?
Jalen Naylor.
Naylor? Oh, I thought I saw it. Yeah, he's there. Jalen Naylor is there.
Quay Walker was a top 10 on free agents available.
I don't see Quay Walker in there, so he may not be accounted for. But yeah,
everybody else was the most recent signing by the Raiders.
I was in the state as well. There were talks today as well that the Ravens were planning on signing both Trey Hendrickson and keeping Max Crosby. They had them in the building at the same time, and they pitched it out to Trey Hendrickson, and they were like, Matt, both of them, they were in the building at the same time. There were talks between the agents and the teams that were like, hey, we're willing to bring both you guys on. And I'm guessing, like you said, the Ravens just got cold feet. They don't want to spend 2 first-round picks for a 29-year-old with an injury. So,
yeah, I think Mike's scenario makes the most sense.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and it's shitty, but a deal's not done until the guy passes the physical. So
yeah,
they just decided to fail him to kill the deal.
All right.
Well, good.
I was gonna say, you guys want me to go through like the top free agents that were available that got signed to teams, like 10 or 15?
I think all 3, maybe all 4 of us have a list in front of us. If you want to get it going, I had Trey Hendrickson as the number 1, 31 years old, going to the Ravens. Poor Joe Burrow. He's like, for a minute there, he goes, whoo, Max Crosby almost came into my division.
Joe Burrow is banging Jessica Alba in Vegas as we speak, so he's doing okay. Even though she's 44, Joe Burrow is doing fine. Did you guys see that?
I've met Jessica Alba. She is one of those radiant humans that just.
Oh, yeah, she still looks terrific.
In person, she radiates. You can.
The funny part about that, Jessica Alba's boyfriend went out and posted like a couple pictures of them together to clear things up, supposedly, but who knows what happened with Joe Burrow. So,
well,
all right.
But yeah,
let's go through the list. What do you?
Trey Hendrickson went to the Ravens. He was the number one free agent. Tyler Linderbaum went to the Raiders. He was the second. This is going
26 years old. Huge record-setting contract for centers at the new market.
Jalen Phillips went to the Carolina Panthers. 6'5" defensive end. He's 4-year deal. Like I don't have the numbers as far as money, but he was on the top 5 list of free agents. The Panthers picked up some good guys as free agency as well.
And that hurts the Eagles, which helps you.
Yeah, the Eagles are down, and they lose Nakobe Dean as well, and possibly Reed Blankenship, the safety. So they're taking some big hits, and their coordinator's gone, their defensive coordinator. So the Eagles not looking so good. And there's talks of A.J. Brown getting traded once again during the draft. So who knows? Alec Pierce, he got signed again, re-signed with the Colts. That was one of the big ones because he wanted a lot of money for people who thought that he wasn't that good. But when you got guys like DK Metcalf who signed for more money than him, then it's like the wide receiver market.
Is he the guy who dropped the football before he was in the end zone?
No. That was another guy. Yeah. Alec Pierce is more of a just. He averages 20, the most in the league, 21 yards per catch. So he's a very big deep ball threat. And if I'm right, the Colts today re-signed Daniel Jones. They put it to a contract thing where if someone matched it, so that was before, but today they confirmed that they're re-signing.
He got $50 million guaranteed.
Yep, that's good money.
It's between his contract is between 88 mil and 100 mil.
I was going to say the Alec Pierce signing just sort of goes to show drafting a top 5 or number 6 overall wide receiver. Alec Pierce getting the money that he got is sort of insane. Why not draft the baller at the top of the draft and have control over them for a few years before you got to pay him? How much did he make? Is he making
$114 million contract?
Yeah. Over 3-4 years?
It's got to be
Daniel Jones. I got it up. We're talking Daniel Jones.
We're talking Alec Pierce first. What the Jones was.
Yeah. The other thing too to remember is these APY and my average per year means nothing. It doesn't mean anything because almost nobody except somebody like, I don't know, Deshaun Watson, whose contract is fully guaranteed, nobody ever gets paid their full average annual value. They don't get paid that. The contract is always torn up after 2 years or 3 years. The guy's either cut or they do an extension where they get new money or different money. So that doesn't mean anything. The only reason APY, Boye Mafe from the Seahawks, he got 3 years and $60 million from the Bengals. $20 million a year for a guy with 2 sacks? No, he fucking didn't get that money. They're not going to pay him half that. Okay, the only thing that they pay that you can count on is first-year salary, whatever that is, because you're not going to cut the guy before he even plays, and guaranteed money that's guaranteed against injury and everything like that. That's what's going to count. So when you get into these deals, you're going to find out they're way less than they sound at the beginning. Now, why do we get APY? Why do they tell us, oh, he's averaging $20 million a year? I'll tell you why. Because the agents are giving those numbers to Tom Pelissero and Adam Schefter and Jay Glazer, all of their friends, to leak it out there. You know why? Because agents get paid on the gross. They don't get paid on what the player actually receives. So his 3% or 2% or 5%, they're going to get that. So they leak these ridiculous numbers. So the player goes, hey, I got $60 million. So now I owe you $3 million, which is 5% of $60 million. Boye Mafe pays the agent, but he's never going to see that much money. So, sorry.
No, that's a good way of explaining it. I didn't know. Yeah.
That gets under my skin because you have, that's why you have to use tools like OTC to look at the details of the contract and see what the player is really going to make, which is usually a lot less.
Yeah, the guaranteed money is really all the. I mean, players get cut all the time. We know that for sure.
Right. They just. But agents want the fake number out there because that's what they get their fee on is. $60 million.
Yeah, and it's always about setting the market for the position for next year, because then if so-and-so got this last year, you're a much better player than that.
Yeah, but Koye Mafe, so you should get a lot more than that, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
By the way, before we go through the rest of the play, go ahead, Izzy.
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of guaranteed money, Tua Tagovailoa, that is a very interesting.
Okay, I will pause before we get into Tua. I just have an aside here as I was doing my research. I didn't quite catch this news yesterday, but we're talking about owners and players and agents. The owner of the Giants, Steve Tisch family, transferring the Giants ownership to the children after the Epstein bombshell.
Yes.
Gentlemen, thoughts?
Yes.
It was coming. You could see that coming. There was a big stink about it, and the press wasn't giving up on it. So this is the case where Roger Goodell put his arm around Steve Tisch and said, you got to step aside, or we'll take the team away from you.
Is that like the Donald Sterling thing? Like, hey,
I would say more like the Daniel Snyder thing with the Redskins.
Snyder, yeah.
So, yeah.
So is he going to step away? Because what Brian said is true. I heard that yesterday, that he had put all his Giant shares into trust.
Yeah.
Well, and if it goes to the family, I mean, are you, you're sort of doing that anyway. Well, should you be forced to sell if you end up in a whole quagmire?
It's
like
kind
that?
of an above board hiding your assets, and if he's convicted on any type of felony regarding Epstein,
then he loses the.
I mean,
somebody would have to be charged with a felony regarding Epstein for that to happen. Yeah.
All right.
It's there to be had, and I don't know if it's under jurisdiction as far as government seizure.
And I mean, look, here's the thing.
Seizing a yacht,
Right. Here's the thing too, Jim. If there was nothing there, he would have just said, yeah, I sent emails to the guy. I didn't know he was involved in this, that, and the other thing. It was just a business deal. I never went to his house. I never went to his ranch. I never went to his island. I never hung out with him on a yacht. If that was true, he would have just said that. And he didn't say that. So here we are. Bye-bye.
He said, and for these reasons, I am out.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Bye-bye.
And gives it to the kids. All right. Speaking of out, back to Tua, Izzy.
Yeah, guaranteed money. Mike was talking about that. Tua has a record $99.2 million in dead cap, and he joins the Falcons for a 1-year, $1.3 million deal because he's still getting paid his guaranteed contract of $167 million from the.
Yeah, don't get Mike started on the dead cap issue.
Here's another thing that's completely.
Mike, get started on the dead cap.
Dead cap means nothing.
Mike's going to explain dead cap to you right now.
The only thing that matters is cap space. All right, if you have a guy, let's make it simple. You got a guy. You got Russell Wilson. You signed him to a bad contract. You have a new coach. He doesn't fit the system. You need a guy who steps back, takes one read, and throws the ball in 2 seconds. That's not Russ. So you want to get rid of him and get out from under the contract. So you cut him. And you give him his release, and you have dead cap, right? People always make a bit. Oh well, yeah, they're saving $10 million under the salary cap, but there's a $30 million dead cap hit. It doesn't matter. That money was already counted against your salary cap. What matters is that you decide that the $10 million you're going to get in cap savings is more important to you than the player. Right? And so that $10 million gives you $10 million. You can go out and find somebody else for a different position maybe to make your team better. The only time dead cap matters is if you have guaranteed money in future years that hasn't been paid yet, and it has to be fully guaranteed, not injury guarantees, not all that other stuff. So let's say out of the dead cap, Russell still had $15 million in absolutely guaranteed money. Then the owner has to write a check for $15 million when Russ walks out the door. That's what matters. But dead cap, again, is the most overrated bunch of bullshit. But they don't want to do that because they'll take a dead cap hit. Well, Rashawn Gary's a prime example. The Packers could have cut him or traded him. No money goes out the door. It's this. They save $10 million under the cap by getting rid of Rashawn Gary that they could spend on somebody else, but it's just a bookkeeping thing. It doesn't it's not real. You don't pay that money. So sorry. I got
No, I mean you're teaching me something. That's pretty
I
cool.
was on my high horse.
No,
So,
I mean,
it's amazing. Grok AI is an amazing tool to teach you all these ins and outs. Go ahead. Sorry.
well, Grok AI also just told me that Isaiah Pacheco re-signed with the Chiefs. AI still hallucinates, but yeah, Izzy and I were definitely having a back and forth about Tua. He was paid all the guaranteed money. I'm like, yeah, he's gonna sign for $1. He's like, huh? What do we do? I go, yeah, he's getting full. He made his money from the other team. Like it's
Right.
not really an incentive.
Now, what did you say, Izzy? What did you say Tua's dead cap hit was when he walked out?
99.23 million.
Right. So that counts against their salary cap. That's money they can't spend, but they also will save, I don't know, 10 million, 20 million in cap space that they can apply to other players, and they'll have to write him a check for the remainder that was guaranteed, right? So they do have to do that, but they're not paying him $99 million, but they might be paying him, like Russ, when he did leave the Broncos, they had to write him a check for $39 million, which was what the guarantees that were left. And then the Steelers only had to pay him $1 million because the rest of it was all covered. So, veteran minimum salary, that's all they're paying.
So, I mean, that puts another quarterback in the room with Michael Penix. I mean, he's coming back.
Two lefties, two injury-prone lefties.
And they got rid of Kirk Cousins.
Well, at least they'll have a left-handed offense and be consistent.
Yeah, exactly. They can learn one thing from another.
Cousins could possibly sign with the Raiders today or tomorrow.
Ooh, Raiders.
Yeah, they could get they need a veteran.
Yeah, if you look back, Clint Kubiak, who is now the coach of the Raiders, was his coach in Minnesota.
When I think of Derek Carr and I think of Kirk Cousins, I sort of see a similar type of human. Obviously, it's years separated, but yeah, I mean, Kirk Cousins, I don't know if you ever watched that Netflix special Quarterback, but like just watching Kirk go to work, it's just, he seems like a solid dude, a smart dude. He understands the game. I mean, he's made almost more money than anybody else that's ever played the game. He plays the game as well as anyone. That is a type of veteran you would want in a locker room, especially if you draft Mendoza number 1. So
yeah, he's definitely a mercenary that knows how to get his money.
Right. According to Over the Cap, they had to pay Kirk Cousins $12.5 million when he walked out the door in Atlanta. That was what he was still owed as a guarantee. But the dead cap hit is $24,600,000. So
don't talk dead cap, Mike. There's no such thing.
It's the dead cap bounce.
Yeah,
it's an economic.
I got your dead cap right here.
But in doing so, they still have $20 million in cap space left.
Yep.
So, yeah.
All right.
I heard
the players, is he?
Yeah. The other free agents were Rasheed Walker, offensive tackle. He's still on the Packers. Is he? Or yeah, he is. And because the Browns signed a center, right, from the Packers.
Yeah, I think what you're looking. I think we're both using the ESPN list.
Yeah, okay.
And so it shows 2025 team is the Packers, but it doesn't look at Owe underneath.
Yeah,
the edge. It shows he's signed with the Commanders. So I think Walker is still a free agent if I'm reading it right.
Yeah, so Walker's still a free agent. Odafe Owe for the Commanders. Former Charger, he got picked up by the Commanders. Braden Smith, offensive tackle. He's with the Houston Texans. He signed with them. John Franklin Myers, another team as well, the Tennessee Titans. They picked up a couple guys. Brian Daboll bought over like 3 or 4 Giants to their defense. So that's something. Yeah. John Franklin Myers to the Tennessee Titans. He's a defensive end. Alante Taylor to the Tennessee Titans. He's a corner. Quay Walker to the Raiders. Reek Wowen to the Eagles. Mike Evans to San Francisco. That's a bigger name.
Let's talk about Mike Evans for a second. That hurts me as a Baker Mayfield fan. I wanted to keep seeing that, but I mean he's reaching the end of his career. The Buccaneers missed the playoffs on a tiebreaker last year. Yes. And I think that was one of the things that bugged him, that he missed the playoffs last year, Mike. I said it probably bugged him that he missed the playoffs.
Playoffs? You kidding me?
No, Mike Evans.
I just hope we can win a game.
He wanted to win a game, that's for sure. I don't think this is a slight on Baker Mayfield, his ability to win games or anything. It's just the 49ers were pretty close, and they've had a problem at wide receiver 1.
And they released Brandon Ayuk yesterday.
Who could be coming to Cleveland, by the way? Who could be coming to Cleveland?
You really want that guy on your team?
Bruh, we just need someone that can make the catches. Jerry Judy's a good
You want a
team.
guy who can make catches who hasn't played a football game all year.
So they've already released Ayuk?
Yeah,
So
they just released
this
him.
morning he was due to leave, so I guess he's already done that.
Yep. 113 miles per hour, probably on the way out as well. So he's another speeder. But also the Rams
style.
They signed the Rams just fleeced. Well, not fleeced, but the Rams took both of the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs had a good defense. I mean, of course, every year they pretty much do. They take both their starting corners, corner 1 and 2. First, with the trade of getting Trent McDuffie, all-pro corner from the Chiefs. They trade a first-round pick and I believe
Jalen Watson.
Yeah, 5th, a 7th, and a 3rd, I believe. 1st, 3rd, 5th, and 7th for Trent McDuffie All-Pro, and then they get his corner mate, Jalen Watson, because they needed some DB help.
Yep.
So, and it wasn't their, mind you, it wasn't their top 15 first-round pick. It was their late-round first-round pick for Trent McDuffie, so they can still get, they're talking about a receiver or offensive lineman or another guy on defense. So they're getting stronger, even though the year just ended off where they did. And I've heard some talks of Kyler Murray going to the Rams and sitting behind Matthew Stafford for a year or two until he retires, then picking up with a squad full of guys that he could go out and play with. That's a possibility. I've heard that that's one of the best landing spots for him. And a lot of people that were asking why wouldn't he want to go play somewhere else. It's also the answer of why go play for a bummy team for a year or two and nothing pans out when you could sit a year or two and have a contender, depending how it looks out. So,
I mean, Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield go ahead to waste half a year each in purgatory in Carolina. They bounced back and found a place to go.
So
speaking of quarterbacks who kind of sat for a little bit or bounced off the team that drafted them, then found a landing spot. What do we think about Malik Willis going down to Miami? He showed us a little bit, a couple flashes filling in Green Bay. Do we think he's a starting caliber quarterback?
Well, one thing we know about Malik, he can play when the temperature's cold, because he plays Green Bay. So we don't have to worry about that stat with Tua,
Well, we got to remember it for next year, Jim, when we're doing our trends.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll update Malik. I'll do some research on Malik, how he plays in temperatures under 40 degrees, because I think that's the number.
Mm-hmm. He'll have a lot more games, especially since he's from the Packers, though.
Yeah.
Mike, you have any thoughts on Malik? Oh, there he is.
Where did I go?
You're still here.
Where did I go? What happened? That's probably on my end.
You entered a wormhole. You did some Wi-Fi stuff.
Jim likes who are we talking about?
Malik Willis.
Malik Willis. Jim likes him. I think he's okay. I think he's a Tyrod Taylor, career guy. But, that's not horrible. He's probably a bridge until next year. So let me ask you this. So you think the rumor now apparently is that you think that Cousins is going to be the bridge in Las Vegas here? You think that's the general drift?
That's the rumor on sports radio, is that Cousins is coming to the Raiders.
Yeah.
Okay. Because of Kubiak.
Okay. That'd be fine. Malik Willis, I really don't think he's a starter. I think he's a part-time fill-in guy.
I feel like he's developed a lot from his rookie year, because that quarterback draft class was atrocious. The top 3 guys were Desmond Ridder, Kenny Pickett, and Malik Willis.
Yeah.
And the reason why he was talked about a lot was because of his physical ability. And, of course, he played for Tennessee for a bit. But going to the Packers, that helped him out a lot. I mean, it made him money. It made his tenure longer for the NFL. So
he got some good coaching with a good team, and that always helps. But
the Vikings helped Sam Darnold immensely.
I think he's potentially a better quarterback, potentially to be a better quarterback than Kyler Murray. I think he's more focused as far as his job is concerned.
Yeah. Instead of playing Call of Duty.
He's slightly bigger. He's slightly bigger than Kyler Murray, and he's got the wheels too. I mean, he's a good scrambler.
Yep. Yeah.
I have a question about Kenneth Walker on the Chiefs. What do we expect from him this year? Pacheco's gone. Patrick Mahomes is gone. Travis Kelce's coming back.
I expect him to spend a lot of time in the bank cashing checks.
Yeah.
Look, he's a good runner and he's explosive. And I think behind a decent offensive line, if Patrick Mahomes gets healthy, throwing the ball, I think that he's going to be a really good player for them for 2 or 3 years. I mean, he's 25 years old. He plays his best in the big games. He doesn't ever fumble, and he's explosive as shit. So if they put a decent offensive line up there, I think he's going to be really good. And it's interesting because I think we talked about this on one of the other shows. He changed about 5 games before the end of the season. He started standing straight up when they lined up instead of crouching down, and all of a sudden he started making the right cuts because his biggest problem was that he would make the wrong choice. It's almost like he was able to see the chess pieces moving when he stood up, when he could see the board clearer, and made better decisions after that.
Jim, before you go real quick, I was just going to make the point that I told Izzy the other day about driving. I was like, I don't want a little car. A little car when you're out on the freeway, like you're down here looking at door handles. I like an SUV where you can kind of see what's ahead of you. You have a lay of the land. You just have a better bird's eye perspective. And if he started standing up and playing better, maybe there's something to that, Jim.
Yeah, I think I think the Chiefs will appreciate him. I mean, there was some talk about Tyreek Hill, coming back to the Chiefs, and that's a bridge too far. I mean, that ship has sailed. I mean, that'd be like a pair of brown loafers in a room full of tuxedos. They don't want to bring him back into the Chiefs. And Walker is just a more reliable player than Tyreek Hill. And you're not going to have all that off-field bullshit, And
a reliable person. He's a good person.
Yeah. I mean, you get stopped by the cops on South Beach and you won't roll down your window. Please.
Is Tyreek Hill going to sign with anybody? Do you think somebody like the Cowboys takes him?
Yeah, I was going to say the Cowboys is like the only team that would take him.
Maybe Tyreek Hill can learn to speak Canadian.
What's that?
I highly doubt it.
Move up. That's from North Dallas 40, Brian.
Newsflash, by the way, defensive tackle Caleb Banks suffered a broken foot at the combine.
No.
The injury happened the night before his on-field testing. He performed a partial workout, not knowing the extent of the injury. The fracture of the 4th metatarsal was surgically repaired by Dr. Norman Waldrop on March 9th. NFL teams have been informed. I think he was a top 10 pick before that. Now what do you think?
Ouch.
Self-inflicted injury, Mike?
It was an injury. I mean, did he drop a weight on it? Did he drop a 45-pounder? Did it slip out of his?
It occurred the night before.
Maybe like Deshaun Watson on a boat?
Maybe
allegedly.
he picked up a fat hooker. I don't know. Something went wrong.
Isaiah Likely leaves the Baltimore Ravens and goes to the Giants following
Going to John Harbaugh.
What do we think there? Anything? Any thoughts, anyone?
I mean, it's addition to the offense. I mean, didn't they just get another running back as well with the Giants? I'm not sure who, but
well, I'll keep buzzing through the list. Romeo Dobbs going to the Patriots, fellas. That's who you just beat. Is Dobbs going to help Drake May get over the hump?
I don't know. Is he taking that stupid helmet with him, or? It's like he can't slip away from anybody because that helmet is so gigantic. It's like a huge lighthouse out there. It's like, there's Dobbs.
Does he wear the kazoo helmet?
Yeah, the big.
Is it the cover or is it just the size of the lid?
It's just the size. No, it's the cover. He
looks like Toad on Super Mario Brothers. He's just got a
Toad.
Or Larry Fitzgerald. He just looks like Larry.
Yeah. Oh, I got a question for Mike and Jim. I mean, I know I texted in a group chat, but hear from you guys. Like, how do you feel about the free agent departures from your team? Do you think that's going to affect you guys a lot upcoming for this year and contention to go back to back, or how are you feeling about that?
I'll let you go ahead, Jim. But
I don't have a clue. I mean, the biggest loss obviously was Walker, and for some reason they didn't want to scratch that check. But I agree with Mike. I think he was a better threat than Charbonnet is, and he has less of a propensity to get injured, and you can go with that adage, your best ability is availability, and Walker was available.
Played every game.
And unfortunately, Zach couldn't play in the Super Bowl, and I'm sure that, that hurts like a hot knife. That's going to haunt him the rest of his career, and it's a shame. I mean, because I'm sure he's a good dude and everything, but
Speaking of haunting,
a little exaggerated. Yeah. Oh, look, it's Larry Fitzgerald.
No, that's
the biggest fucking noggin I've
is that Ramondre?
No, that's Romeo Dubes and his Dobbs and his Patriots.
Dubes.
Sorry, Jim. I had to get that in there.
Izzy, yeah, I think the departure of Walker is going to be the death knell to us repeating, because I think the Rams have gotten better unless they get hit by injuries. Stafford is 38. Maybe he'll get hurt. But we don't beat the Rams without Ken Walker. And we probably still beat the Patriots, but we don't beat the Rams twice without Kenneth Walker.
That was the real Super Bowl against the Rams. We all know.
We have no explosiveness downfield now from the running game like we did last year. It was done for, I don't think, any good reason. So that one hurts. Kobe Bryant, I would have liked to have had back because he has a nose for the ball and intercepts it. We probably could have afforded to keep him. And Tariq Woolen, addition by subtraction is what they're thinking. I think they have some pretty good corners. So really,
was he a huge?
No. You'll bring somebody in that he was good at setting the edge in the run game a little bit, but he didn't play every down. And you have to make some judgments, right? Like who are we going to keep? We're going to keep Derek Hall or Boye Mafe. Well, Derek Hall is the more productive pass rusher, and that's what guys that play end are supposed to do, is get to the quarterback. So the only one that really I think we can't live without. And by the way, we signed a safety from the Colts today to replace Kobe Bryant. So,
Nick Cross?
Yeah, no, it was what's his name?
But yeah, while you look for it, just once again, the plus minus based on off-season moves. The number one team, the Seahawks. There, it's the team that took the biggest hit according to this index, the improvement index.
I think what I'm going to do, Mike, when I take Lucy for a walk this afternoon, I'm going to go bang on Marshawn's door and see if he wants to come back.
Well, the Seahawks just signed a running back named Emmanuel Wilson to a 1-year deal.
Emmanuel Wilson, yeah, he's a former Packers running back.
He was the RB2. I've had him stashed in my dynasty league for a few years into the league. He can play. He had a couple nice games for the Packers. Just he's been sitting behind, whether it's Josh Jacobs or even before that.
Yeah, he's nothing too special. I can say that. Yeah, he is a backup. But
that was going to be my other part of. Go ahead, Izzy.
Yeah, and then also not to put any more salt on the wound, you guys re-signed Rashid Shaheed 3-year $51 million, and Kenneth Walker signed a 3-year $45 million deal.
Yeah.
Do you think they chose, or was it just a consensus between both sides that Kenneth Walker wasn't coming back? Because, Kenneth Walker, in my opinion, seems way more valuable than Rashid Shaheed is.
Well, I don't agree with that.
You don't?
He did some things that were completely unique in our offense, but
I felt
like our top two free agents we had to get back were Ken Walker and Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah.
Shaheed because of his explosiveness, Walker because of his explosiveness. Shaheed was your number one deep threat. And remember, like in the Super Bowl, Shaheed could have had 2 touchdowns, and it wasn't this Gonzalez guy. On one play, Sam Darnold underthrew him, and on the other play, Sam Darnold overthrew him. He was open both times, potentially for touchdowns. So he's your deep threat and an elite kick returner, certainly the best kick returner in the game right now.
Yeah.
And so if you lost one, you had to get the other. And, I don't like them taking the risks that they took. And I would have just tagged Walker, rented him for one more year, and then let him go while we looked for a replacement. But, they signed this running back, and then they signed a safety from the Colts. I got to find out who that is.
And while you look that up, I was going to ask, do you think Charbonnet is going to be a bell cow this year? Or do you think that they're going to work Wilson in half and half, or they draft somebody?
I mean, Charbonnet was damn near a bell cow half the year for the Seahawks. Yeah. He took a lot of Kenneth Walker's reps.
Too many from my perspective.
Yep.
Charbonnet was real good in the red zone.
I know. Every time I didn't start him, he was getting those touchdowns. Every time I did, he wasn't punching it in, and Kenneth Walker was doing it.
Yeah,
now, I had them both on my team. Now at least they're split up, so I can play them both in the same game. For all you fantasy nerds out there.
Well, the thing to remember about Charbonnet is that he's on crutches right now, and it's unlikely he plays opening day, and you may not have him until midseason. So I don't think he's going to make up for it. No.
Yeah.
Kenneth says Marsha Brady also had a nose for the ball, by the way.
Yeah.
That's funny, Kenneth. That is hilarious. Yeah, Izzy has no idea
how old he is.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. Okay, what's some other people? Juwan Jennings, he's still out there, wide receiver. Still out
there. Yep.
Hasn't made a decision on where he's playing. We talked about Boye Mafe going to the Bengals. What are they getting? How much does that help them, guys? You watched him more than anybody.
He just said they could afford to lose him. Nothing that special, but I mean, for the Bengals, it's defense. I mean, the Bengals' defense sucks, as we know. So defense is defense.
Kels re-signed with the Chiefs yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah, 14th season.
12 mil. One season.
Okay. So it's Rodney Thomas that the Seahawks signed. I don't know who that is.
Rodney Thomas?
I don't either.
4-year guy. So
the Browns released David Njoku, who's now on the market. And I thought maybe Travis Kelce coming back home to Cleveland would have been fun, especially if he's only got a year left in the tank and, come home and play a year. But, he's just so comfortable in Kansas City. It wasn't meant to be. But I wonder where Njoku's going to sign or if he has anything left in the tank.
Well, Kansas City might be a good place for him to go to learn everything behind Kelce for a year. So, if I was him, I'd be looking for something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, here we are, breaking news.
More breaking news?
No, we're getting it today on the show.
Oh, okay, yeah, I love it.
DJ Moore went to the Bills. What do you think about that, Brian?
Oh yeah. Let me check chat if we have our Canadian buddy always up there in Ontario. He's a huge Bills fan. He's not in right now. DJ Moore, he's kind of bounced around a couple places. The Bears wide receiver room was a little weird last year, just trying to figure out Odunze and some of the rookies and the new guys and the DJ Moores. It's got to help the Bills. It's got to help him a lot. He knows how to play. Is he top 5? No, I don't think he's a top 5. But that's definitely going to help the Bills. Is Stephon Diggs off of there now? Is he gone?
Yeah, Stephon Diggs.
Gone.
Who's on the Patriots? Wait,
Mike and I talked about that the other day.
Jim does not like Stephon.
I think we had that. We all had that he was one and done. He's just not a likable guy. He's a locker room bust, and he's a me guy.
Let's ask this question: Who gets signed first? Tyreek Hill or Stephon?
Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
I just
hope we can win a game.
I just posted it there for you to use it the next time somebody said playoffs, Brian.
I heard the beep and I just went to it.
It only seems to play once, and then it won't play again. So
I don't see Stephon.
I heard the beep and I went there instead of here. Sorry.
It's
there. It's just in storage in the background, Brian. Okay.
All right.
Diggs is 32 years old. He wears out his welcome, in 4 months.
Yeah.
So will Diggs have more NFL contracts than children from this point forward? That's a good over/under bet. We should put that put it on Twitter. Which one of us needs to post? Maybe I'll post it on Twitter. That's a good one.
Well, I would like to see personally, Brian. I would like to see Stephon Diggs and Tyreek Hill in Cleveland. I think that would be fun.
Ooh. And Ayuk. And Ayuk.
Is Ayuk ever going to play again? I mean, after what happened with that, Jesus, that's insane.
Tyreek Hill, Brandon Ayuk, and Stephon Diggs all
on
to
the
the
Cleveland Browns with Shadur.
How Browns would that be?
Who's stopping this offense? Well, Tyreek
Oh
Hill.
man, that would be. I would watch every game. I would get the red zone to watch that.
Because you never know what one of them's going to strip
Antonio
down
Brown comes out of retirement.
Antonio Brown. I mean,
yeah, now that's fitting.
That's a tough pair to draw to.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown and Stephon Diggs. Wow.
Okay.
And AJ Brown.
Let me hit this note. Greg Newsome, the Browns traded this. We did a swap with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and then he left them. So, I mean, they just rented him. We got a good player in return, and now he's re-signed with the Giants. He's only 26 years old, former first-round pick. So he's someone to keep an eye on. Yeah, Stephon Diggs is 32. He had 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 season with the Patriots.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, good for him. Joey Bosa played for the Bills last year. He's a free agent. I don't know where he's going to go.
A pretty good guy, too. Alex Anzalone from the Lions, the linebackers captain. He's on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 2-year deal, so the Lions, they take a hit to their defense as well. And another one to that, what's this dude's name? Wan'Dale Robinson, wide receiver, too, for the Giants. He joins Brian Dable back with the Tennessee Titans, so trying to get something going.
Yeah, I mean, Wan'Dale kind of came on last year, did okay.
That's Wan'Dale with an apostrophe, is that right?
Yep, Dale.
Wan'Dale.
Out of curiosity, speaking of apostrophes, did you happen to see the PetSmart video yet?
No.
Which one?
The only one. Maybe I'll play it in a moment here, just for no apparent reason. But it's about apostrophes. It's you just kind of got to see it.
I got 2 apostrophes in my name.
Easy. Wait, you have 2 apostrophes?
Yeah, first and middle name has one apostrophe.
It should be an apostrophe between the Z and the R.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Couldn't you type that in, when you signed up?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I found it. Since we're talking about apostrophes, this is the perfect chance here. And by the way, Izzy, cue up any of the final players we want to mention as we start winding this down. Make sure you're following us in all of the places. Strictly football. This is the song about apostrophes, and any of us pet lovers, I know you are, Mike. Actually, all of us, we all have pets, right? I mean, yeah. Izzy got smacked by Nimbus earlier in the episode. That was awesome.
Yeah.
It wasn't smacked. He just, hey, look at me. Here's a song about apostrophes because these guys can't figure out what's going on. Oh, hold on. There we go.
I got a question.
Me too.
Is it pet smart or pet smart? Are you saying that pets are smart? Or are you saying you're a mark for pets? I need answers! Which one is it?
No, I'm thinking about it.
Now, what would you classify that music as? Is that rap?
Awesome is what I classify it as.
Or is it death metal or what?
It's kind of like Guar without the masks, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit of screamo. It's a little bit of aggro rock, a little bit of alternative.
It's not music.
Oh, I think the song rips.
The old guy always ripping on the young guy's music.
But they will probably get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland.
Probably, yeah.
Rico Dowdle goes away from the Panthers. He had a pretty decent season. Now he's on the Pittsburgh Steelers because they lost Kenneth Gainwell, who went to the Buccaneers.
Oh, yeah. Did you mention Pittman as well? Michael Pittman got traded?
Rashard White went to – he just
the
signed
Commanders.
Commanders.
Yeah.
It's a carousel of running backs. Which one?
Who's this Odafe Owe?
Gesundheit.
Odafe Owe, he's a former Ravens player.
He went to the Redskins. He's a defensive end.
Yeah, what about him?
Yeah, it says he signed for $100 million. He's got to be somebody.
Yeah, he's a pretty good offensive outside linebacker. Originally, he was on the Ravens. I'm not sure if he stayed with that team or went to a new team, but yeah, he did just sign $100 million.
If he was with the Ravens and went to the Redskins, he got to keep his house. So
okay, yeah.
All right, boys, I got to get going. It's been fun. It's been real.
Yep.
It's been real fun.
Easy on that boy shit, Mike.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, sorry.
There you go.
All right, gentlemen, I have to go. But
yes, Mike, advertise your shows. Where to find you?
Yeah, Real News Live with Mike and Jen on Mondays and Wednesdays at 1 Eastern. We're changing that to 5 Eastern soon, or no, 8 Eastern soon. In a week or so. Headed to LA next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend for the Alien event there. Going to be speaking at that event. Don't know what I'm talking about yet. And I'll see you there. So if you're in LA, come on out. I'll get you in for free and we'll have some fun and drink.
Man, I wish I still lived out there.
I missed the chance.
I know. Yeah, that's right. If you were there, you would be there.
Yeah.
Bonus question for Mike. What's going on with that missing UFO guy?
That is weird.
And he's like the 3rd or 4th high level something or other. That
is really weird.
Yeah, I saw that last night.
And it's weird.
And both Obama and Trump are trying to, like, Anna Paulina Luna, Marco Rubio, they're all telling us that disclosure is happening. And you're like,
I recall that's in Arizona. If I have that correct, that he lived in Arizona, or was it New Mexico?
Maybe New Mexico, and he used to work at Wright Patterson.
Let me just tell you, there is a conflict going on behind the scenes in the American military. There's a conflict, and maybe he was just on the wrong side and got himself into trouble. But it's not what's going on there is not normal. It's not just they're not going to just like, oh, he had a stroke and passed out by the side of the road. That ain't going to be it.
Left his cell phone at home, disappeared. Yeah.
Well, as an example, in 2020. During the election fraud investigation, it's not a coincidence that the boyfriend of the daughter of the governor who has said, yeah, we're going to go find out what happened with the election. And then a day later, the daughter's boyfriend ends up in a burning, exploding car on the freeway. Believe me, that's not a coincidence. And then suddenly the governor changes his position on the 2020 election. So there's stuff going on that we don't see, hear, or talk about much.
Yeah, Michael Hastings style. Speaking
this is weird. I'm just going to tell you, my spider sense is telling me there's something really wrong there. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but it's wrong.
Mike's telling you you're a lot safer in Space Force.
There you go. Izzy, final thoughts, and then a quote from Jim.
Nothing much.
Okay.
Nothing much. That's my final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Thank you for that wisdom, Jim. You're going to leave us with something incredible.
No, I'm just going to leave you, Brian. You didn't give me enough notice this week.
All right, we'll get a quote from Jim. We'll do an NFL draft preview show coming up when we get real cool. When does that happen? It's March 12 right now. Draft is April.
Late April. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we'll do a draft preview coming up, and then I'll just be live doing the draft. And if you boys want to jump in, we can. All right.
I think during the first round of the draft, Jim and his wife and me and my brother are going to be at our favorite Mexican place up the street, probably. So
that sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
happy hour
in advance. So yeah.
All right. Well, stay tuned. Check out the TNAM Daily Show with us at the New American Media Monday through Friday, noon Eastern time. And we'll be keep your eyes peeled for our upcoming Strictly Football next episode pre-draft show. Signing out on behalf of everybody out there in the TNAM universe. I appreciate you. I love you. And we'll talk to you again soon.
Peace.
Take care, everybody.
All right.
Peace.
Hi, this is Eric Metcalf, and you're watching Unhappy Hour.
New American Media is proud to present a division of the Unhappy Hour sports show, Strictly Football.
It's the Unhappy Hour.